Hi everybody, hope everyone is well. Just sitting here relaxing on the beach while my kids play football. And just recently, when I'm at home and I'm watching YouTube, I must have watched one video a few weeks ago about someone who left the UK for a new life somewhere else. I think it was Eastern Europe. And once I clicked on that one video, I then had a whole host of videos, and I've now ended up watching about 20 of them. At the same time as that, and actually ever since I've started YouTube, I've been asked a number of times, how did you end up in Okinawa? And I've never got round to answering it because I, focus on photography. But I thought, as I'm not going out doing much photography at the moment due to the weather, I thought if I get a free half an hour, why don't I do it? Now, I have actually just recorded a video and realized that it had stopped recording and I was just talking to nobody for 15 minutes. So very annoying. But anyway, so I'll soldier on. So yeah, so a lot of these videos I've seen, unfortunately, a lot of them are quite negative, saying how much England has changed, how people don't like London anymore, how they don't get much for their money, how they don't like the politics of England, and there's too many immigrants and all sorts of stuff. I certainly don't want to get into the politics of that now. If this video is popular and people like it, then maybe I will get into a little bit deeper about why I left, and also pros and cons, what I like about Japan, what I liked about England, what I don't like about Japan, what I didn't like about England. But for now, I'm just going to share my story because I have been asked over the years how I ended up being here. And yeah, why not share that with you? Basically, about 25 years ago, I was living and working in London, working for a company called TWI, which is a sports TV company, enjoying my job, enjoying life too much actually. And I was basically spending everything I earned on going out. A lot of my friends were getting more serious with their partners. They were starting to buy houses. And I was quite far from that. I didn't have the money saved up to even think about buying a house. But that actually wasn't the reason I left. I just thought I probably need to get out of the pub, go somewhere, change my outlook, reset my life, and then maybe come back to England in a year with a new, renewed purpose and goals going forward. So I thought about a number of places. In fact, I had an interview for a job in a tropical island called Bonaire, running a bar, and I'd done a couple of telephone interviews, and that was in 2001. And then September 11th happened, and they called me back and they said, look, we're really interested, but we're now not employing anybody because no one's traveling. So that stopped. And just by chance, a girl I sat next to, Lauren, she said to me, have you ever thought about traveling to Japan? Now, I'd never thought about Japan. Some people are mad into Japan. They love Japanese food. They love anime. I knew nothing about Japan. But she said she had taught English in Osaka for a year, and it was a really good job. And she really enjoyed the experience. So as I was sitting at my desk, she's sitting there. She said, the company's called Nova. And as we're talking, I'm doing my job. The application form's there. I fill it out, send it off, forgot about it. About a month or two later, get a letter through the post. Do you want to come for an interview for a job in Japan? Still not really taking it seriously. I certainly hadn't told my parents about it. But yeah, I went for the interview, did the interview, still wasn't really too serious. And then again, a few months later, got a letter through the post. You've been offered a job. Suddenly I was like, oh, wow, this is actually happening. I need to make a decision. So I told my friends, they all laughed. They said, Cookie, you'll be back in the pub by the summer. You won't stick it out. You won't like it. You'll go for a couple of months. So anyway, I decided to go. Told my parents. One of the reasons, I still had quite a lot of debt from university, and I felt if I went out there, I could possibly save some money while having a good time. And I thought, as I said, I'd probably come back in about a year. So I headed out to Tokyo in March 2002. Didn't know anybody there, didn't speak any Japanese, didn't even know anything about the food. And I arrived, but like most things in life, I tried to be a half glass full kind of guy, so I took it as an adventure. Got to Tokyo, and then realizing that I should probably spend less time in the pub, realized that Tokyo, if you like nightlife, Tokyo is an absolute dream. So the image I had of slowing down a bit didn't really work. But anyway, it was a great experience. I really enjoyed the teaching. But of course, I was just living, for my weekends and my nights off and just having a great time. While I was there, I heard about Okinawa. Now, I'd never heard about it before. Now, there's a lot of Americans out there teaching English, and they all knew about Okinawa. because Okinawa plays such a pivotal role in the Second World War in the Pacific. And so it's a very significant part of American history. In England, we don't really learn about Okinawa and the War, Pacific War. We more learn about the war in Europe. So I really didn't know about Okinawa. Anyway, long story short, I filled out a piece of paper saying, can I have a job in Okinawa? Now, all the other people in the Tokyo office said, don't do that. Everyone wants to go to Okinawa. It's a tropical island. All the schools in Japan, and there were hundreds of them, everyone wants to go. No, you'll never get a job there. Anyway, sent it off, forgot about it. I had a great time in Tokyo. About 6 months later, got loads of friends. I was playing football every week. I had a girlfriend I was quite serious about. I get a letter saying, do you want to take this job in Okinawa? You leave in a month. Tell us on Monday. This was on the Friday. So I had a big decision to make, but I felt I was getting two for the price of one. My initial plan was to travel to Japan, but I'm now going to this tropical island, 3 hours flight south of Japan, and I just felt I'm getting two for the price of one. I'm getting the Japan urban Tokyo bright lights experience, but I'm also going to get a tropical island with nice beaches experience. Take it. So I took it. A month later, ended up down in Okinawa. And I was smitten with Okinawa immediately. I absolutely love the people, the culture. I love the izakayas, which are their version of pubs, where you eat and drink, delicious food, very cheap. So I absolutely loved it. And I was here for about a year and 3 months. And I just felt, by that time, I'd been away from home for 2.5 years. I thought, this is longer than I ever planned. But I enjoyed teaching English. It's a good experience and it allows you to travel. So I thought, I'll do it back in England. So I went back to England. One of the other things, actually, while I was living in Okinawa, Okinawa basically doesn't have any trains. So there's a lot of buses, but they're pretty irregular. And the nature of the island is buses don't really work. You need to drive. So while I was living here, I really felt I needed to drive. And I'd never passed my driving test in England. I was now, by this stage, I was 30, and I hadn't passed my driving test. So I thought, I'll go back to England, pass my driving test, then teach English as a foreign language a bit closer to my family. So I did that. Actually, it worked the other way around. I went back and I literally chose a place randomly on the map, and I ended up in Nice in the south of France. I was there for about 5 weeks, and I did get offered some teaching jobs, but it was literally a couple of hours at this school one week, a couple of hours at another school. It just wasn't enough. So after about a month, I thought, no, this is not going to work. Went back to my parents' house, and I worked a temp job for about 3 months while in the meantime taking driving lessons. And I ended up passing my driving test in February 2002, back on a flight to Okinawa in 2003. Basically, I'd thought about Okinawa ever since I'd left. It just made a real impression on me, and I wanted to go back. I thought, I'll go back for a year, still only 31, get out of my system. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So came back to Okinawa. A lot of the people I'd left were so surprised to see me. And very quickly after that, I met my wife. And of course, my trajectory in life changed after that. So fast forward, I started seeing my wife. We ended up moving in together. We lived in this great apartment on the other side of Okinawa for a long time. And then we were kindly offered some land by her parents, which land is everything here. And it had an ocean view. Even though it was in the middle of a jungle on a hill, we couldn't envisage a house being there. That's why architects make the big bucks. And this architect came along, and even though it was only a small plot, he built us this beautiful house with this ocean view. And we had 2 beautiful children who are now 11 and 10. And Okinawa is now home. I love going back to England. I absolutely love visiting England. But Okinawa is definitely home. I've been working as a teacher, teaching English for 20 years. Originally, I was working in an English private school, teaching adults and businessmen how to speak English. That was quite rigid. I had to wear a shirt and tie every day, and Okinawa is so hot, I didn't enjoy that. Quite long hours, but you got pay rises every year. So I did that for a few years, and then I became a local teacher just in a regular school. So I was working in elementary schools, and now I work in junior high schools. And I work in a junior high school teaching English to kids. I really enjoy the job. The money and the perks and the healthcare, all of that has improved over the years. So Yes, it's not the highest paid job in the world, but it's pretty good, allowing me to live here. And the great thing is, I finish at 3:30 every day. It allows me to do my photography, and that is the huge bonus. Working in England, working till 5:30 every day, I wouldn't have been able to do as much photography as I've done living here. So yeah, sorry, that's all a bit muddled up and jumbled, but that's why I left England and came to Okinawa 20 years ago. And I don't have any regrets. I absolutely love living here. Of course, you miss your family. My father sadly passed away in COVID and I couldn't get back. That was really, really sad. I miss my mum and my brother very much. And of course, all my friends. I'm very lucky that all my friends make a huge effort. Every time I come back to England, we always get together. And of course, I miss them. But every time I go back and see them, they always say, Cookie, we only get together and see each other when you come back anyway. So I think a lot of them don't see each other as much as we used to because we've all got kids, we've all got busy lives. So yeah, I left, no regrets, absolutely loved it. But I didn't leave because I hate England, or I think England's changed, or because of people coming to England, or my life changing. That wasn't the reason I did it. I kind of fell into it. I never left England thinking I'm never going to come back. I always thought I'd come back. I just met my wife and life takes you in another way that you planned. But if you are thinking of traveling, absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. If you only stay for a year, great. You've had a great experience and you've probably learnt lots. But if, like me, you arrive somewhere and you love it and you stay longer and then you end up marrying a local and you stay forever, yeah, I have no regrets. But I think there's lots of people that do it and do have regrets and then move back to England. But I haven't and I won't be. So yeah, that's my story. If you want to see more videos like this, you want to hear about things I like here, things I don't like here, things I like about England, things I don't like about England, let me know because I'm very happy. I don't have to do just photography. I don't always have time to go out and do photography. So these kind of videos are a bit easier to plan. Yeah, I mean, I love so many things about Okinawa, and Okinawa is an amazing place. As I said, I'd never even heard of it. So I'm very happy to share things about Okinawa if that's what you'd be interested in seeing. Yeah, do what you feels right. Don't, if you want to travel and you're still young, or even if you're not young, you want to travel, do it. Do it. It's been an absolutely amazing experience for me, and I've learned so much. Yes, I'm not making the big bucks, but I'm getting life experiences all the time. I went out to do some photography yesterday, and this farmer, I bump into about once every 3 years. He's in the middle of nowhere up north. Saw me yesterday and gave me these tiny mini mangoes from his farm. I'd never even heard of mini mangoes. And just little moments like that I get a lot in Okinawa. People are so kind, and that is priceless to me. I absolutely love it. And let me just turn this camera around just to show you where I am sitting. Can I do that on this phone? There's some girls snorkeling over there. As you can see, absolutely stunning. And I've been to some nice tropical islands in Asia, and I don't know if I've seen many places with better beaches than Okinawa. They are beautiful. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.